morning, and welcome to a brief analysis of the doctrine of double effect. I wanted to fulfill my promise that I made that I would say something regarding the Siamese twins case and the doctrine of double effect. One thing that was mentioned in the bride kidnapping case, and I want to bring this up because it's a perfect way to introduce natural law and the doctrine of double effect. Somebody had mentioned who's good, the good of the husband or the good of the bride in the case, the family. And several of you had mentioned issues of financial hardship, the desperateness of the situation, and some of those seem to be justification for kidnapping. But the way this is introduced, and Aquinas actually took and kind of baptized Aristotle, that Aristotle is the first person to talk about or put things in the case of what truly is the good, because the discussion of the good has been going on for a while with the Greeks, and this is something that they would understand. What is the good? And they're not going to go into this nebulous thing of who's to say. They're going to say we can, because we have reason, and we can reason about what is the good. So one of the things that Aristotle says it is that the good is when people flourish, when people thrive. Well, what does that mean? And I think I mentioned it in the lectures before, but if you take a baby to the doctor, one of the things that parents always want is they want their kids to be fat. Little babies. We want them to be, gaining weight and getting healthy. Why? Because it's a milestone. It's something that lets us know that the baby is doing okay. If babies are getting thinner when we bring them home from the hospital, that's never a good sign. We want to make sure that the baby is growing, they're developing. The doctor will ask, can they pick up a Cheerio with 2 fingers? Why? Because we want to see how their motor skills are developing. Those are really important things to parents and to the doctor to know that somebody's thriving. So there are certain ways that we can tell that people are thriving. Aristotle felt that there were certain things that would lead to flourishing, and one of those things that would lead to flourishing is that we have freedom, dignity, those types of things. Unfortunately, he still felt that it was okay to have slaves and to keep young boys and that sort of thing, but he would still say we can reason about the fact that there are certain things that are good for human beings, period, overall, and we can recognize those things. And as we move along in history, we do start to see those things that are good for people, and we recognize that slavery was not good in the United States. It certainly was good for those people who were holding them because they were gaining more money, but at the same time it wasn't exactly good overall for the community and the society. And there were little marks, milestones to represent that. So that's one thing that you want to keep in mind, is that we're talking about the good that we can recognize for a reason, and we're still reasoning about those things. There may be widespread disagreement. That doesn't matter. We can still discuss that. We may at this point be wrong. We might be wrong about certain things, but that's okay. We can still reason about it. Okay. The next thing that I would like to do is talk to you about the Siamese twins. And I'm going to read to you from, hold on, I'll try and find that, from the actual case. So, here we go. The way that this was decided, move on down here. Legally separating the twins when death results. Separation surgery was manifestly in Jody's best interest, and that was how it was decided, but not in Mary's best interest. It denied her inherent right to life. But there's this conflict in the children's interest, and the consequent conflict in the doctor's duties to each child. There's no other way of dealing with it than choosing the lesser of the 2 evils, and so finding the least detrimental alternative. Jody obviously is going to benefit from the separation, or else it would allow this, the result of the death of the 2 twins. The actual case study was seen as, or the court case was seen as, the parents were fighting on strictly religious grounds. Not exactly. I think that was overblown. and the person who wrote this particular article said the same thing. One of the things that you must know in here is that we can't give a justification, and the court case didn't give a justification. So be careful. Try and separate your opinion and what you want to be the case from what is the actual situation. That's what we try to do in philosophy, is say, yes, it is this, but then I'm going to try and justify that. Or not justify it, but give a legal basis for that. Following the model direction given in the House of Lords, the Woolen case, the intention, one should conclude that the separation would involve motorist intent on the part of the doctors in respect to Mary. The doctrine of double effect obviously has no application in that. There's no way that you're going to be able to get the doctrine of double effect to apply. No way. Let's see. Both doctors and parents had a legal duty to save Jodi's life, and they felt that otherwise this would open them up to the charge of manslaughter. Interesting in this is that they even talk about the fact that clamping that aorta to save Jodi is, they know willfully that they are ending Mary's life by doing that. And basically, in the conflict of duty, the operation was justified as a course of action, which was the lesser evil. And so, basically, they knew that they were killing Mary with the necessity of saving Jodi's life. And so, several of you had put that issue in that each person has an inherent right to life, and that is the thing, the doctrine of double effect. And I'm hoping not confusing you. It does get confusing, and somebody had mentioned that, the intentions, the willingness to do something, foreseeable evils. You could say that there are certain ways that you could argue, and I mentioned that in the way that people had argued. You could say that it isn't always the case that dying is bad, and that's one of the things that's brought up in doctrine of double effect. But in this case, it just wouldn't work. There's no way that you could apply the doctrine of double effect to say, yes, it's going to cover this case. You could try and find something else to do that, but don't try and work with that particular doctrine of double effect to try and justify this surgery. So I think that's the only place I wanted to go with that. And I'm rambling a little bit, but what I wanted to do was just kind of bring up those two issues. Number one, there's no way that you'd be able to get a doctrine of double effect to apply to this case. Number two, the good is something that you can reason about. And that's something that I would like for you to think about as you move along. We live in an age where people want to say it's relative. And it's relative until it affects me. Aquinas and Aristotle are saying it's not relative at all. We can reason about the good. We can reason about those things that are good for society, that are good for individuals, and we just have to use our brain a little bit. Someone had brought up the issue of this kidnapping being very remote correct, and the doctrine of double effect is not like the utilitarian position. The utilitarian position is that the greatest overall good. In natural law, you're talking about each individual. It must be good for each individual. And if it's good for each individual, there's never going to be a conflict with society. So you don't want to be using people as a means to an end. You always want to be thinking of them as ends in themselves. And that goes right into Kant's doctrine. And a lot of times you're going to find the doctrine of double effect backed up and reinforced and bolstered by Immanuel Kant's theory. Okay? So that's that.